I'm joined by one of the locals that had to survive the flames as they came through by taking some pretty desperate action. And Robin Coots is with us now. And Robin, you had a pretty tough time. I know you've got some strong messages you want to get out too, but first of all, tell us, how did you survive the fire when it came through?
Well, I was lucky enough to have my daughter with me at the time. Ron was with me. My husband was there as well. But she didn't panic, but she organised me very quickly and said, "Forget everything, Mum. We can't take it. We haven't got time. It's the way it's coming up the hill."
Because you're right on the lake, aren't you?
Yeah, oh yes. But I suppose we've got about 40 metres to get down to the water, and it's all downhill, which is pretty tough because I don't run that good downhill. But anyway, she grabbed hold of me and she said, "Just grab hold of the back of my jacket and don't let go from around the back of her neck," sort of. So then we had to go down about 18 steps to get onto the pontoon. Unfortunately, by the time we got down there, Bobby and his wife were following us, McCarthy's. They were staying with us, and he was helping his wife, and we got down onto the pontoon, and the flames were there, and it was really scary. And my daughter Natalie said, "Mum, you've got to jump in the water." And look, Mum, you jump in. I'm in there now. I'm jumping in. I'm in there. Quickly, come in. And I jumped in, and it was daytime, but it was black. You know, everything was black, and it just moved that quick. I couldn't believe how, you know, when you came up out of the water and you saw the trees, it was just flying up the trees. You know, it was the way it moved. You know, it was like in steps.
How long did you have to stay in the water for?
Oh, overall, we were in the water for about, easy an hour. But, you know, it sort of felt a lot more.
I'm sure it did. But a local man with a jet ski came to your rescue.
Well, we were screaming out a lot. We were screaming out, "Somebody please help me, help me, help me." And we could hear motors, but we couldn't see really. But he saw us, or he heard us, and oh God, I was glad to see him.
You've got some good news because that man's here. Mark, can you come over?
Oh,
Mark, you two have met, I know.
Oh yeah, we have.
But
Yeah.
you literally came to Robin's rescue on the jet ski.
Yeah, we just we were down the beach in the morning. Then we looked up towards the other end of the lake, and we just seen the smoke coming up. And then we got back to our place, and then my wife's uncle, he sort of took off and said, you know, the fire's up the other end. So come up and give us a hand, you know.
Yeah.
You got friends up
You
there.
just started pulling people out of the water.
We knew our friends of the family, so we would come up to give them a hand, you know. And I was lucky that I heard Robin and her daughter Natalie, you know, in the water, and then got them out. And then they said her uncle and Arnie was still in there, so. Yeah. Went back, got them, and then,
Put yourself at risk. It's a fantastic thing to do.
Look, he
Robin,
was fantastic. We wouldn't be here today if he wasn't, because we couldn't last much longer because as we were swimming to get to the other side of the lake, the fire kept crawling up the other side like that.
Yeah.
So we were swimming diagonal, and so it made it further, and we just never seemed to get to the end of it, you know.
I want to ask one more thing, which is about today, because I know this town's struggling. You've got a real problem in terms of supplies, getting any supplies. We've got the minister responsible coming up next. Just quickly, what's your message to him?
Well, this is my reward for today coming, because your gentleman just gave it to me when I got here.
You had no water.
We've had no water, and we haven't had very much at all that we can be free with, because there's a lot of us down there camping together, a lot of us, and we're sharing everything. So everything's being shared.
What do you say to the minister?
Well, I think it's got to be better organised.
Yeah.
It wasn't organised in any way. Now, we know we get weather reports on our telephone, which we're watching, but we don't have the facilities there. Like, the defence should have been there. Even when we got out of the water, then what was it, Mark? We all had to be taken down to the beach, and we had to stay on the beach. It was blowing a gale and all that, but we'd been through other stuff, so we could handle that easy. But there was helicopters there
So they could do the
dishing the
firefighting.
water.
You need the help today, now.
Well, yeah,
You do
know,
too,
I mean, there's kids there that a mother had to be in the city for overnight, and kids had to be breastfed back here with their father, and the mother's trying to get supplies, but they weren't allowed back in.
That's just one of the many
You know,
examples
they
we're
were
hearing
not
Lake Conjola
allowed to
today.
get back in.
All right. We're going to try to follow that up with the Minister now, but first, why don't you and I think Mark, thank you for everything you've done. Robin, thank you for coming in. Ron, do you want to come and say thanks as well? By the way, Robin is Ron Coote's wife, and we spoke to you earlier about surviving this fantastic event. So thank you. Thank you so much for everything that you've done, Mark, in helping these people.
He's a genius, this bloke.
Yeah.
And thanks for telling us your stories today.